All right. What's up, everybody? All my people in Manhattan, the Bronx, Queens, all the way up to Staten Island, my homeborough, Brooklyn. Back at it with another video. First of all, I want to apologize for not uploading. There were topics in sports and pop culture that I could have done videos on, but I just didn't do. So I want to apologize for that. But I'm back on the eve of the kickoff to the 2024 NFL season. As we all know, the Ravens and Chiefs play tomorrow, and then the Eagles and Packers play on Saturday in Brazil. And NFL football is about to be back. And like I said, I'll be doing 3 prediction videos. One after the draft, one way too early prediction, one on the eve of kickoff, and then one on Thanksgiving, which will be my final prediction video for the season. So let's get into it. I have the Baltimore Ravens winning the North, the Texans winning the South, the Jets winning the East Division, the Chiefs winning the West, and the Bengals, Browns, and Dolphins is my 3 wildcard teams. Now, the teams with the alarms by them, let me address. The Ravens, look, they added Derrick Henry. They lost in the championship game last year to the Chiefs in their house. They should be on alert because the Bengals are back. Well, let me be specific. Joe Burrow is back, and he should be fully healthy. he dyed his hair blonde, looking like Slim Shady or that wrestler Cody Rhodes. So you can never count out Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Also, the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson should be coming back fully healthy, and the Browns they actually went to Baltimore and beat the Ravens in their house last season. So the Browns, and of course, you can never count out the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll address them in a few minutes. But the Ravens should be on upset alert. They should be worried about losing the AFC North Division to the Bengals really just the Bengals. The Browns, very talented team, but I don't know if they'll ever win the division. But they could surprise me this year. The Texans caught everybody off guard last season, including myself. C.J. Stroud came in and played amazing. A lot of people had him in the MVP conversation. DeMeco Ryans, who in my opinion should have got Coach of the Year, but they gave it to the Cleveland Brown head coach. His name escaped my mind right now, but it's all right. That's life. But the Texans last season, they played a last place schedule because the 2 prior seasons, 2022 and 2021, they were perhaps the worst team in the NFL. Now they're playing a first place schedule because they won their division last year. They're going to be able to catch teams off guard, so they should be worried. The Jets, look, Aaron Rodgers coming back, but he is 40, going on 41 years old. He's an old Aaron Rodgers. I don't think he'll be the Aaron Rodgers of old. Plus, you got the Miami Dolphins, who you can never count out, who start out strong, but then as the season gets to November, December, it gets a little colder outside, and they go to play Buffalo and New York and Pittsburgh and Cincy, all these cold weather cities. They tend to not play their best. So, but you still can't count them out. Same thing with the Buffalo Bills, but I'll address them in a second. So they should be worried. The Chiefs, they have no problems at all. With all due respect to the Broncos and the Raiders and the Chargers, who do have Jim Harbaugh coming in. The Chiefs don't have a problem. The Bengals, look, if the Bengals don't win the division, I think they'll comfortably make the playoffs. The Browns and Dolphins, they should be concerned about not making the playoffs because you shouldn't sleep on Pittsburgh, you shouldn't sleep on the Chargers or Buffalo. Even though Buffalo lost Stephon Diggs, I could see them missing the playoffs this year, but it is Josh Allen. Even though players think he's the most... Excuse me, I apologize for that. But even though the players voted Josh Allen as the most overrated quarterback in the league, he has a chance to prove them wrong this year. So they have a chance to sneak in and get a playoff spot, as do the Chargers. They bring in Jim Harbaugh. His first year in San Francisco with Alex Smith and Frank Gore, they made it all the way to the NFC Championship game. Went 13-3, got the number 1 seed in the NFC, and made it to the conference championship with Alex Smith and Frank Gore and Vernon Davis and Patrick Willis, who recently got inducted into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations to him. So, and Justin Herbert shown himself to be a talented quarterback, so I wouldn't count out the Chargers. So the Browns and Dolphins should be worried about losing their playoff spot. The AFC is the far superior conference, or at least the far more interesting conference. The NFC, not really that hard. There aren't that many, in my opinion, Super Bowl. There aren't that many. I can only see two or three teams winning the Super Bowl out of the NFC. But anyway, get into the NFC. I got the Lions winning the North, the Falcons winning the South, the Eagles winning the East, the Niners winning the West, the Cowboys, Packers, and Rams are my 3 wild cards. The 3 teams in the NFC I can see winning the Super Bowl are the Lions, the Eagles, and the 49ers. And I know they lost last year. Super Bowl hangover's a bitch. But can't count them out. Brock Purdy, Deebo Samuel, they just got shit together with Trent Williams. Nick Bosa and what's his name, George Kittle, the tight end. Niners are a very talented team. The Eagles, they added Saquon Barkley, unfortunately for my Giants. So they should better. I mean, they were 10-1 last year, then they collapsed down the stretch of the season, finished the season at 11-6, and got knocked down the wild card game by the Buccaneers, led by Baker Mayfield, not Tom Brady, Baker Mayfield. So, but with Saquon Barkley back in the backfield, I think they'll be better this year. And then the Lions, Lions, they almost had it. Last year they were up 27-0 in San Francisco. They collapsed down the stretch of the game. So the first ever Super Bowl appearance was in their grasp, and I think the Lions are going to be extra motivated going into the season. Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, they got a talented team, very talented team. Love the Lions. As for the South, I got the Falcons winning it. I think the Falcons are going to surprise a lot of people. They got that new coach, Raheem Moore. The Falcons have a talented team. They got Bijan Robinson, the running back, Kyle Pitts, the freak tight end, Drake London, the receiver. They got Grady Jarrett, that defensive tackle, and they drafted Michael Penix Jr. out of Washington, who I think is very talented, the kid. And the Buccaneers, look, nothing against Baker Mayfield and that team, but I don't think they're going to repeat last season's success. So I think the Falcons are comfortably going to win the AFC South. The wildcard team, the Cowboys, but, a lot of people say they can see the Cowboys miss the playoffs this year. Look, I can too, but I'm not going to count them out entirely. Now, are the Cowboys going to win a playoff game? That's a better question. I mean, we saw what happened last year when they went up against the Packers. Well, I also got taking a wild card spot. Look, a lot of people are very high on Jordan Love. I've seen some pundits pick the Packers to win the division. I won't go that far. Look, Jordan Love had 1 year. Let's see him try to repeat last season's success to see before we start calling him an elite quarterback or a top 10 quarterback and all that stuff. And then the Rams. Got the Rams winning, getting the final wildcard spot. And I feel very comfortable about all these NFC picks. The AFC one is tricky, but the NFC I feel very comfortable. I do got Patrick Mahomes winning MVP in the Offensive Player of the Year again. Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the league. I don't think there's anybody in the league on his level. The guys on Patrick's level are guys like Tom Brady and Joe Montana. And especially if he can submit this three-peat, they can get a three-peat. Ooh. But but I feel very comfortable. And then they drafted that kid Xavier Worthy. I think their receiving core will be better this year. Last year they led the league. I think the receivers led the league in drops. Just a lot of people, including myself, didn't think the Chiefs would win the Super Bowl last year because they're receivers. But when they got there, it's like, hey, it's Patrick Mahomes and this dude got Travis Kelce. I got Aiden Hutchinson, the defensive end from Detroit, winning Defensive Player of the Year. Look, a lot of people, including myself, thought going into every season Micah Parsons was going to win it. We thought 2022 Michael was going to win it, and it wasn't him. I think it was T.J. Watt. Last year, a lot of people thought Michael was going to win it, including me. And I thought, and it ended up being Myles Garrett. Look, Micah Parsons is not the next LT, and I never bought into that shit. That's some bullshit that Skip Bayless started. Look, it's very obvious Myles Garrett is better than him. T.J. Watt's better, and Nick Bosa. I believe Nick Bosa won it in 2022. Now that I say it, but all those guys are better pass rushers than Micah Parsons. It's very obvious to say. And Aiden Hutchinson, last season he had a very good season, so this could be a breakout year for him. Could Micah end up winning the Defensive of the Year? Absolutely. Could he? Absolutely. But I wouldn't bet on it. Like I said, I got Michael Penix Jr. Look, a lot of people are high on Caleb Williams. I like Caleb Williams a lot. The Chicago Bears. I don't think they're a talented enough team around him. But you can say that about C.J. Stroud and the Texans last year, so who knows? But I think Michael Penix Jr. will take advantage of all the weapons he has. I think the Falcons' defense will be all right. Raheem Moore was a defensive coordinator with the Rams, where he got the head coach job in Atlanta. So I think Michael Penix Jr. will shock everybody and win the Rookie of the Year. Okay, Coach of the Year, I got DeMeco Ryans of the Texans. Again, he should have gotten it last year. I forget the Cleveland's coach name. It's escaping my mind. But he got it last year. Again, not really much of a problem, but I just would have given it to DeMeco Ryans and or the coach out there in Detroit. Damn, I don't know why I'm forgetting all these names. Dan Campbell, that's his name, the Detroit head coach. And the comeback player of the year will be Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Now, my Super Bowl prediction. Look, I love the Kansas City Chiefs a lot. I really do. And I probably shouldn't be picking against them. But I'm going to. And you can say, oh, just because the three-peats never happened doesn't mean it can't never happen. Very true. Very true. But until then, until the Chiefs, until they win the AFC Championship game this year, I got the Ravens against the Detroit Lions in the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. and who I would pick to win that game, it's tough. I would say Baltimore. I would say Baltimore. But if the Lions won, I wouldn't be too surprised. Now, look, I know people say, "Oh, you just said a lot about Patrick Mahomes, but you're going to pick against some guys." Look, guys, it's tough. Okay, there's a reason we've never seen a three-peat in the NFL. The closest team that came to three-peat was the 49ers. They won the Super Bowl in 88 and 89. 1990, they lose the NFC Championship game to my Giants. You know, the Giants kicked a game-winning field goal. It's hard to three-peat. That's why we've never seen it in the NFL in the Super Bowl era. We've seen it in basketball with Shaq and Kobe. Hell, Jordan did it twice. The Bill Russell Celtics won 8 straight. In baseball, the Oakland A's three-peated in the 70s. My Yankees three-peated. Oh, my Yankees have four-peated before, five-peated. You know, we've seen it in baseball, and I believe in hockey, the New York Islanders, I think they won 4 straight Stanley Cups in the early 80s. But we've never seen the Super Bowl era. Now, again, can we see it this year? Possibly. Possibly. And, possibly. But for now, I'm going to have to stick with my Super Bowl pick. And I know all you Chiefs fans are going to kill me in the comments. Guys, if I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong and I'll apologize. But for now, I got the Ravens coming out the AFC. I got Detroit coming out the NFC. Again, this isn't my final prediction video for this year. I'll do another one on Thanksgiving. Until then, see you all.